This video and every video on this channel is made possible by your support on patreon.com/616entertainment. I couldn't do this without you, and your contributions keep this channel alive. You can also grab an official shirt over on prowrestlingtees.com/616entertainment. What's up, Dan-Dans? Welcome to the brand new weekly series here on youtube.com/616entertainment, the Fight Night Championship Tournament. On this show, we're going to be using one of my all-time favorite games, Fight Night Round 4, to determine, once and for all, who is the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Over the next 7 weeks, 8 of the greatest heavyweights to ever lace them up are going to step into the ring, competing in a single elimination tournament. When it's all said and done, we will have our first ever official 616 Entertainment Fight Night Heavyweight Champion. Oh, what's up, Dan-Dans? Welcome to the Metro Manila Arena here in the Philippines. This is the third fight on the Fight Night Championship Tournament bracket. In the first fight, we saw Lennox Lewis knock out George Foreman, and in the following week, Evander Holyfield picked up a split decision victory over the greatest Muhammad Ali. But here today, Smokin Joe Frazier is going to go one-on-one with Tommy Morrison. Now, you might be seeing Tommy Morrison and going, that kind of looks like Mickey Rourke. That's not Mickey Rourke, although Mickey Rourke was a boxer. But if you're thinking of Tommy Morrison being, he looks familiar to you even though you're not a boxing fan, he was in Rocky V. Tommy Morrison played Tommy Gunn in Rocky V. But forget about the movies, this is the real action. Smokin Joe Frazier and Tommy Morrison in the ring together. Oh, look at that body shot, a digging body shot from Smokin Joe to the ribs of Tommy Morrison. These are two big boys, and these are two boys who are getting in here, and somebody is going to score a knockout. If this fight does not end in a knockout, I'm gonna ask myself. That's what I know. I started that sentence, and I wasn't really sure where I was going with it, so I just defaulted to ask myself. I don't really know what it means to ask oneself, and I hope I don't find out. Damn, these guys are swanging. This is nasty, nasty stuff. Now, Dan-Dans, don't forget, you got to jump down in the comments right now and make your prediction. Oh, look at that left uppercut to the body from Tommy Gunn. It's not too late to make your prediction. We are still here early in the first round. Somebody's going to sleep. That's what we know. Will it be Smokin Joe? Will it be Tommy Gunn, Tommy Morrison? That's up to you. I mean, it's up to you to make your pick. It's not up to you who wins. It's not up to me who wins. If you did not know, this is a simulation. I am not controlling either one of these guys, so may the best man win. I know there was a big upset last week when Evander Holyfield picked up a split decision victory over Muhammad Ali. Look at that left uppercut from Tommy Gunn, this time upstairs. I know a lot of people were hoping that the finals of this tournament were going to come down to Ali versus Tyson 2, but Evander Holyfield had a little something to say about that. He said, I'm the real deal. Do you understand? Nobody's going to come in here and walk through me. Not even the greatest. Oh man, Smokin Joe just missed a beautiful lead uppercut, but Tommy Gunn did not miss with that right hand counter. There's that uppercut from Smokin Joe. He switched over to the right hand, and this time it landed. Now, like I said, these are two powerful boys here, and I may have, I don't want to say misspoke, but maybe I could have chosen my words a little better. Look, on week 1, I called George Foreman and Lennox Lewis. I said those were big boys, and those were some big boys. You know, George Foreman, 6'3", 82-inch reach. Lennox Lewis, 6'5", 84-inch reach. If we're talking Joe Frazier here, Joe Frazier, 5'11". This is probably next to Mike Tyson, the shortest guy in this tournament. There is a nice shot right to the breadbasket from Smokin Joe. Joe Frazier is not one of these big towering behemoths, you know, as far as the heavyweight division is concerned. Tommy Gunn is bigger than George Foreman. I did that in the first week too. I called George Foreman Joe Frazier. Now I'm calling George Frazier. God damn it. You know, you know what I mean. And remember, if you don't recall, the sensors, the blurs that you're seeing on the screen are because I am blocking out the health, stamina, and damage meters, because those are spoilers, you know? You don't want to know what's coming. Let's say that one of these guys, their damage meter was full, meaning they got a really bad cut or something like that. If you could see that meter and it was full, you would know, oh, if he takes one more shot, the ref's going to call it. We don't want that. We want to be on the edge of our seat the whole time. Oh, look at that uppercut from Tommy Morrison! These guys are not, they're not exactly on a level playing field as far as the size goes. You know what I mean? Tommy Morrison is taller than George Frazier. I did it again. Tommy Morrison, the taller fighter, coming in at 6'2", to Joe Frazier's 5'11". He's got 20 pounds, Tommy does. Pronouns, pal. Tommy's got 20 pounds on Joe Frazier, coming in at 226. And in the reach department, Tommy Morrison's got 3 inches on Joe Frazier. So all around, when it comes to size, Tommy Gunn, it's his fight to lose. Oh, and that, if he's gonna lose it, that's how it's gonna happen. A stinging left uppercut to the body from Joe Frazier. And I think I've just noticed, or I guess I realized, why I keep fucking up Joe Frazier and George Foreman. It's because it's the same sounds on their first and last name. George Foreman, Joe Frazier. Foreman, Frazier, 2 F's, 2 J sounds, even though George is a G. You know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what I'm talking about. I am a little confused. When this fight started, and we had our announcer guy doing what we assume were the pre-match introductions, the little stats bar on the bottom listed Joe Frazier as 33-1. Oh, what a uppercut! What an uppercut. I don't feel like my commentary is on point just yet, but stick with me. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get our shit together, you know what I'm saying? 33-1 is not accurate. At no point was that ever accurate in Joe Frazier's career. Joe Frazier retired, and remember, this is the 616 verse, so neither of these guys are dead, which in real life they are, and neither of these guys are retired, which in real life, you know, they're dead, so they're retired. Sadly, Tommy Gunn is pouring it on here! A blitz, and I'm not talking about Monday night with handy dandy Andy Jarek. Tommy Gunn with an offensive blitz. Bliss? What is with me today? It's okay. We're starting off on the wrong side of the bed, but we're going to figure this out. Joe Frazier wrapped up his career with a record of 32-4-1. So where 33-1 comes from, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not trying to call out the team from EA Sports, but 33-1, get the fuck out of here. Oh, Tommy Gunn's hurt! A right uppercut, and he's down! Joe Frazier drops Tommy Morrison in the second round! He stung him with that right uppercut, and it's the left hook that takes his legs out. Will Tommy Morrison be able to get up from this? Or will this be the shortest fight in the tournament thus far? He's up to his feet. He is up to his feet, but he's not out of the woods just yet. He's not going for a clinch. He's not even backing up. He might not have the legs to back up. And there's a stinging right hand. Joe Frazier's pouring it on as the second round comes to an end. When you think about a heavyweight fight, when you think about a fight where everything is on the line, you picture a fight like this. You picture both guys standing in the fucking phone booth just dropping hammers on each other. Both guys are landing at will, but thus far, Tommy Morrison is the only one who has tasted the canvas. Unbelievable stuff. And we know that Tommy Morrison is durable. Tommy Morrison, the guy reached 28-0 before tasting his first defeat at the hands of Ray Mercer, who, if you know anything about anything, you know Ray Mercer had fucking dynamite in his gloves. And look at this, Tommy Morrison coming out for this third round. He's not taking it off. He's not saying, you know what, give me these next 3 minutes to find my legs. Tommy Morrison is coming out here and saying, you know what, I'm going to die or I'm going to win. You know, fighters always say, I want to go out on my shield, and Tommy Morrison is either going to go out on his shield, or he's going to be the one raising his sword when that final bell rings. And look at this. He's not taking it lying down. Look at that uppercut to the body. Joe Frazier right now clearly is the faster fighter. He's picking Tommy apart. The pressure is unbelievable. If we're watching these two guys right now, you tell me who's backing up and who's walking forward. Tommy Gunn is the guy who's getting walked down right now. And it takes balls of steel to walk down Tommy Morrison. Are you out of your mind? Tommy Morrison is a guy who, at the end of the day, finishes his career with a record of 48-3-1. Are you crazy? 48-3-1 with 42 knockouts. If you can't do a little bit of mental math right there, let me put it out on the table for you. Tommy Morrison got his hand raised 48 times, and only 6 of those were by decision. Jesus Christ. You know, there's a reason they called him Tommy Gunn. That's because when he gets in there, it's... You know what I'm saying? This is unbelievable stuff. The pace right now, I mean, I got to give credit to both guys as far as the pace is concerned. I think Joe Frazier's landing more. I think Joe Frazier's landing better. So early on... Oh, that uppercut! That's the one that put him down! In the second round, well, it's not the punch that put him down in the second round, but it's the one that hurt him in the second round. I think this is going to be a short fight, if I'm just being honest with you. The first 2 weeks of this tournament, we had a fight end in the 10th round, and then week 2, we went all the way to decision. We went 12 whole rounds. This is not going 12 rounds. So now what I want you to do, you've already made your pick on who you think is going to win. Now I want you to pop down in the comments one more time, and I want you to place your bets. It's like we're playing a little bit of roulette right here. You know, you put your money down, you put your chip down on either red or black. Oh, but you also put it down on a number. I want you to put your money down, put your chip down on the number of round that this will end. There's the final bell for round 3. We're heading into round 4. It is not out of the question that this fight doesn't see round 5. With the pace that these guys are pushing, with the bombs that these guys are landing, this could get called at any moment. We want to thank the wonderful ring card girls here for doing a bang-up job, doing what it is that they do, you know. Look, the men in the ring are hitting each other in the fucking brain with their bones. They're smashing each other's bodies against each other. They're accumulating brain damage. What's the woman doing? She's smart. She's walking around with a piece of paper. You know what? That doesn't seem like a bad way to make a living. You tell me which one of those is better for you long term. Goodness gracious. But see, Dan, that's where we come in too. Not that any of us are making a living watching these guys fight, but we're not taking any shots to the head doing it. You know? And if we're just going to count all of our little victories, that's a little victory that you and I can share right there today. Neither one of us have taken any head trauma today. At least I hope you haven't. I don't know what you've done in your day-to-day life. These guys are banging in close. Tommy Gunn just threw a monster left uppercut. Missed. He landed another one, though. He did land that one right there. Oh, that was a beautiful parry. And then he throws the jab to the body, does Tommy Morrison. I'm a little surprised that Tommy Gunn has not hurt Joe Frazier at all. You know, not to say that these aren't stinging. Not to say that they're not adding up. But at no point have Joe's knees buckled. At no point has he been on the ropes going, oh, fuck, what am I going to do now? Tommy's already been down. Tommy has tasted the canvas. Tommy has had to face adversity. He got up. And he's doing... Oh, look at these shots up and down from Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison's doing everything in his power to even this thing up. To put Joe Frazier down. Oh, look at that right uppercut. He's doing everything he can to show the judges, I'm not out of this fight. And Joe Frazier, this is not a walk in the park for Smokin' Joe. You understand? He's not out here just picking up a paper win over Tommy Morrison. This is big business. If Joe Frazier wants this win, he's going to have to earn it. These guys are just swanging on the inside. We talked about Tommy Morrison facing adversity as far as getting dropped in that second round. Oh, a stinging left uppercut to the body from Joe Frazier. Tommy Morrison went down in that second round. He was able to find his feet. He got back up, and he's still here. You want to talk about facing adversity. You want to talk about toughness. You want to talk about endurance. You want to talk about a guy who will not quit. We're looking at Joe Frazier in this ring right now, who back in the day, when Joe Frazier fought George Foreman for the first time, because they had 2 fights against each other, George Foreman, and don't get me wrong, this is not a sunshine and rainbow story for Joe Frazier. We're not about to tell a story of where he got in there and he knocked George Foreman out in the first round. George Foreman beat Joe Frazier's fucking ass. Oh my goodness, a right uppercut! And Joe Frazier might be out cold! Look at that beautiful right uppercut. The eyes roll back in the head like he's fucking Mark Calloway here. The referee is counting Joe Frazier. This could be it. A stinging shot. Joe Frazier finds his way to his feet right at the end of the 4th round. And what a poetic way to continue my story. I was just talking about Joe Frazier getting his shit pushed in by George Foreman. Look, George Foreman dropped Joe Frazier 6 times in that first fight. 6 times. That's half a dozen times Smokin' Joe was put on the canvas, and he kept getting up. Now, he lost the fight. The fight was stopped by the referee after that 6th knockdown. But think about that. I'm not saying Joe Frazier was the best on that night. He lost. He got fucked up. But he had to get dropped 6 times before the referee said, you know what, I have to save you from yourself. You're too tough for your own good. We are in the 5th round here, and these guys are 1 apiece as far as nuclear shots, dropping each other in a big way, and they're still swanging and banging. Somebody's getting knocked out. I told you in the first round, somebody's getting knocked out. Both of these guys are bringing everything they got, and we're along for the ride, and I'm very happy that that is the case. Dan, I hope you're enjoying this show, because I certainly am. Oh man, a beautiful 3-piece and a soda from Tommy Morrison there. Joe Frazier's got to get these fucking hands up, because Tommy Gunn is landing at will. Early, oh, there it is again, left uppercut from Tommy Morrison. Joe Frazier clinching, holding on for dear life. Goodness me, you know, he's grabbing onto the guardrail on the Titanic, but at the end of the day, that ship fucking sank. It hit an iceberg named Tommy Morrison, and if Joe Frazier doesn't get his bearings very quickly, he's going to be at the bottom of the ocean on a Discovery Channel special before you can say Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you understand? This is unbelievable stuff from Tommy Morrison. What I was trying to say there before Joe Frazier got hurt again was, in the early going, this was the exact opposite fight. I felt like Joe Frazier was throwing, landing, and Tommy Morrison would stick him here and there. Here in, what is this, the 5th or the 6th round? I've lost track now because it's too exciting, and I'm also just not very good at keeping track, but I give the excuse that it's too exciting because that makes me sound better as a commentator. Here, as the waters get deeper, as this fight goes on, I feel like Joe Frazier's losing the plot a little bit. He might have got a little too full of his own shit. He might have dropped Tommy Morrison in that second round and thought, this is going to be a walk in the park. My dick is too big to get knocked out here tonight. Listen, nobody's dick is too big to get knocked out. You understand? Oh, there. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Now, I was going back and forth with somebody in the comments recently. Oh, man, what a shot to the body. I was going back and forth with somebody in the comments. I want to say it was after the first fight went up, Foreman and Lennox Lewis. And they were saying that I should not have put I want to say the argument was they said I should not have put Tommy Morrison on this bracket, and I should have gone with one of the Klitschko brothers instead. As we come to the end of the round, they said, don't do Tommy Morrison. He sucked. He has no great wins. You should have gone with a Klitschko. I mean, on paper, statistically, Tommy Morrison walked away with a record of 48-3-1, which is very impressive, but that's just a number, you know? Does Tommy Morrison have tons and tons of Hall of Fame victories under his belt? No. Is he a 3-time former world champion? Yes, he is. So Tommy Morrison's not a jobber. But the argument that it came down to was this. I went with Tommy Morrison over a Klitschko because even in real life, when the Klitschkos were on top, people weren't watching boxing. The Klitschkos were fucking boring. So I had to make a decision. Do I want to have a bracket that, might be a little boring? Or do I want to have swanging and banging like Joe Frazier versus Tommy Morrison? I made the decision I made. So, and I think hopefully everybody is happy that I made that decision because we're getting this fight out of it. You understand? If this was Joe Frazier versus Vladimir or Vitaly Klitschko, either one of them, it wouldn't look like this. I'm not saying it would be a bad fight, but it wouldn't look like this. You know? Either one of these guys could go down like JFK at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? And we don't even need Lee Harvey Oswald in the building. Trying to remember right now if I've already made that reference at some point across the first two fights. I don't remember. But Joe Frazier right now is out. Oh, man, I was just about to compliment him, and he goes and compliments himself. Gives me something to work with. A beautiful slip, that gorgeous head movement opened up that left uppercut, that stinging lead uppercut that he seems to love so much. You know, Joe Frazier is an Olympic gold medalist. In the 1964 Olympic Games, Joe Frazier won the gold medal. That's not the first time I've talked about a gold medalist on this bracket. Again, we're here to crown the greatest of all time. We've got some of the best to ever do it here. I don't necessarily know if Joe Frazier is fighting this fight with the skills that won him the gold medal. You know, Joe Frazier tonight is almost giving me some Vanderlei Silva vibes if you're an MMA fan, you know. It didn't always seem, especially later in his career, let's say during his UFC run, Vanderlei Silva didn't necessarily fight like a guy who wanted to win at all costs and then get a shot at the title and be a long-reigning champion. He already did that back in Pride, you know. When Vanderlei finally was back in the UFC towards the end of his career, Vanderlei fought like a guy who was like, I'm going to kill you or I'm going to die trying. And I feel like those are the vibes that Joe Frazier's giving me right now. This is unbelievable. Every once in a while, I just drop out on commentary just so I can turn up the volume on the fight and we can all take these sounds in together. The fucking bang, ba-bang, 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 bang, bang of these guys consistently landing heavy shots on each other. If you close your eyes, you wouldn't know if this was a boxing fight or if you're watching fucking basketball or basketball drills. The doom, 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 doom. It almost sounds like people are dribbling. It's unbelievable stuff. So like, close your eyes, you're just in a fucking gymnasium. You don't know how many people are fighting here tonight. One of the things I always like to do in my research coming into each one of these fights on the Fight Night Championship Tournament bracket is I like to take a look at every fighter's priors when it comes to the other guys who are also involved in this tournament. And I really should have looked at the Ring Card Girl's card that she was carrying around because I don't know what round this is. Maybe it's the 7th. Maybe it's the 8th. Well, I had a point to make, so I was kind of just not paying attention to what she was doing. I like to take a look at everybody's tournament priors, and if we're looking at Smokin Joe, you know, some of these guys have come in and they're like, oh, Evander Holyfield 3-1-1 against the other guys in this tournament. Muhammad Ali was 2-1 against other guys on this bracket. Joe Frazier, 1-4. That's not great. Now let's put that into perspective. That is against the top quality talent of his era. You know, when I say 1-4, that doesn't sound great, but what happened? Joe Frazier got finished by George Foreman twice. There's no shame in that. George Foreman was a fucking beast. And Joe Frazier fought Muhammad Ali 3 times. And let's not get it twisted. Muhammad Ali didn't beat Joe Frazier's ass 3 times. Joe Frazier was the first guy to ever beat Muhammad Ali. In their first fight, the start of the trilogy, Joe Frazier takes a unanimous decision win over the man who calls himself the greatest. And if you've never seen that fight, I highly recommend that you go back and watch it. Now, did Joe Frazier's career end on a note like Lennox Lewis's did, on a 3-0 streak as champion? No. Joe Frazier retired winless in his last 3, 0-2-1. You know, that's not gorgeous. So if we're going to apply real-life logic here in the 616 verse, we could spin the... Oh, what a stinging right straight from Tommy Morrison and a beautiful power left uppercut through the body right behind it. If we're going to take the real-life end of the career of Joe Frazier and continue it here in the 616 verse, we could say that Joe Frazier's fighting the way he is here tonight and out here looking to put on a show and win this tournament because he's got a lot to prove. You know, things didn't end on things didn't finish with a storybook ending for Joe Frazier. So he wants to capture that here in the Fight Night Championship tournament. As far as the priors go, for Tommy Morrison, we're looking at a guy who walked away with a 1-1 spot against other guys who are on this bracket. Oh, there's a left uppercut! Left uppercut from Joe Frazier. Tommy Morrison is rocked. And much like we saw Joe Frazier a couple rounds ago, Tommy Morrison hold on for dear life, clinching up twice. That is very telling. He probably held on to Joe Frazier for 8 seconds, and he still had to grab on for dear life again after that. If I'm Tommy Morrison's coach right now, I am screaming at him to back up, create some space. Find your footing here. Jesus Christ. You don't want to finish 1-2 against other guys on this bracket. You know what I'm saying? I started to talk about the tournament priors there for Tommy Morrison before he got rocked. Okay, that was the 7th round. We're going into the 8th. Tommy Morrison, in real life, prior to this, was TKO'd by Lennox Lewis, but he owns a decision win over George Foreman. That's funny that the 2 guys on this bracket that Tommy Morrison fought was our opening contest. That's awesome. That's very, very cool. Here we are in the 8th round. Both of these guys have gone down. Both of these guys have been hurt several times. This could be it. This could be the final stanza of... Oh my goodness! A stepping left hook from Joe Frazier. Tommy Morrison somehow took that on the button, and even though it pushed him back a little bit, he said, "I'm still here, sucker. I'm still here." Oh man, he might not be here for much longer. A powerful right uppercut lands on the chin of Tommy Morrison. And listen, pal, there's no director calling cut. That's not Sylvester Stallone you're in the ring with. That's Smokin' Joe Frazier. Can you handle the pressure? He's hurt again. Tommy Morrison's back on the ropes, and now his face is on the canvas. Left hook, left uppercut. This could be all she wrote for the man they call Tommy Gunn, who is going to give it everything he's got here. He's trying his best, and he makes the call. He answers the bell. I'm getting lightheaded doing this commentary now, and listen, I hope, I'm going to give Tommy Morrison his flowers, because he's gotten hurt and he's facing adversity. I'm giving Joe Frazier his flowers. Even if he somehow loses this fight, he's still coming out of a long retirement and looking like $1 million. But I'm also going to go ahead and bury Horowitz for a second. I'm going to pat myself on the back, and I'm going to give myself some flowers, because my commentary was not here when we started this fight. It was sloppy. I was tripping over my words, but my commentary has shown up. Better late than never. Ask Jeff Hardy. My commentary has showed up, and I think we're sounding pretty good here. You know what else sounds pretty good, Dan Dans? Is patreon.com/616entertainment. I want to give a special shout out right now to a Dan by the name of D Kitty. You see that name on the Patreon producers list before every video. Oh, there's a right hook from Joe Frazier, and Tommy Morrison is trying to get in the way of D Kitty's shout out right now. Beautiful defense after getting hurt right there from Morrison, who should be backing up, but he might not have the legs to back up. Here's the thing. I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm not going to get into numbers, but on a couple recent videos, Joe Frazier's hurt with a body shot. That had to be like a fucking shotgun blast to the ribs, and Joe Frazier's hurt. He's hurt bad. I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm not going to get into numbers, but on several videos recently, I've been talking about I'm getting wrongfully content ID'd and copyright blocked and shit like that, and videos are getting demonetized, and it makes this job very difficult, you know? Because that means even when you guys show up and you show support and you watch the videos and stuff, that's the YouTube content ID system going, okay, great, well, fuck you. And then I don't get anything out of it. And that might have been a little bit of a late shot there, Joe. But just to get to the point, because these guys are really getting in the way of me trying to make this point, I mentioned that several of my videos have gotten fucked over recently, and a Dan by the name of D Kitty was already a patron, already supporting over on patreon.com/616entertainment. D Kitty went over there and upped their pledge in a big way. And it was nothing to sneeze at, and it was a big fucking deal. Let's put it that way. It was a huge deal, and that makes just such a gigantic difference. I don't think any of you realize how much I appreciate not just your support on Patreon, but you watching these videos and you commenting and clicking that like button. This sounds like I'm just bullshitting and blowing smoke up all your asses right now, but when you guys interact with videos in all those different ways, and fucking tweet it out, do whatever you want, that all makes a huge difference, just so you know. You know, when Monday Night Blitz was going on, when Monday Night Blitz was going on, and I would be in the chat saying, hey, if you're here watching right now, click that like button. It makes a difference. It really does. When the comment section is overflowing, when the likes are tipping the scales, you know what that does? That puts the video into the suggested and recommended box of people who might not otherwise see it. Oh my God! Oh my God! Joe Frazier says the Dan-Dans understand that they're appreciated. Shut the fuck up. I just killed this man. That's got to be it. This is the third time Tommy Morrison's been down. He's got the heart of a lion, but even lions age out. Oh my goodness, he's got to his feet. He got to his feet. Listen, I won't beleaguer the point. I love you all very much. I appreciate you all very much. I don't care where you support me. You guys are here, you're watching, you're commenting, and it makes what I do possible. Thank you very much. And if you chose Tommy Morrison early on, if Tommy Morrison had a Patreon, I'd be putting that over right now, because I think... This is the fucking best fight of all time. This is the best fight of all time. Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson this is giving it a run for its money, because Joe Frazier is down, and he might not get up. George Foreman, who? He put Joe Frazier down 6 times. Tommy Morrison only needed 2. Tommy Morrison knocks out Joe Frazier. This is fucking insane. Tommy Gunn puts a stop to Smokin' Joe in the 9th round. And look at that. It was damn near dead even. This might be the best fight we've ever seen. The Fight Night Championship Tournament is so good. I hope you guys are having a blast. Let's take a look at the updated bracket right now. In the semifinals, we will see Lennox Lewis get in the ring with Evander Holyfield for the 3rd time. That's going to complete a trilogy for those guys. And on the second half of the bracket, we now know Tommy Morrison is either going to get in there with Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.? Dan's the Fight Night Championship Tournament is only getting started. I love you all so much. And I'm going to see you next week.